What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video on Nwadei MMA, where I give you my thoughts, but more importantly ask for you guys' thoughts, as you guys are the MMA community and I love to bounce my thoughts off of yours, right? So today we're going to be talking about UFC 307 that just got announced from Dana White himself, the man himself, the president of the UFC. And my God, we have another event. Another stacked event. So without further ado, thank you guys for stopping by my channel and this video. If you want to support the content, it's easy. Just give this video a thumbs up and leave your thoughts down below as you watch along the video. And you're always more than welcome to subscribe and join the Nwadei MMA family. With that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, friends and family, brothers and sisters, look, we got a new main event for UFC 307. Now, a lot of us knew that Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena was going to be on this card, and while that's probably the best women's bantamweight fight that we can make, it wasn't main event worthy, and I think we can all say that, you know. However, one of the more exciting bantamweight fighters in Juliana Pena is coming back against someone who had a lackluster title performance in Raquel Pennington, but these two are both hard-nosed, so it should be a good fight. However, that's just the co-main event. That's a good thing, because we have Alex Pereira facing off against Khalil Roundtree for the main event and for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Now, if you guys don't know about the history of this, let's talk about the storyline a little bit. So, Alex Pereira defends his belt at UFC 300. Alex Pereira defends his belt at UFC 303, and now he's going to try and defend his belt at UFC 307. A little bit of a background behind these defenses, though. At UFC 300, it was Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill was coming off of an injury. Jamal Hill was the former champion who really never lost his belt, and Alex Pereira was the current champion after his win over Yuri Prochazka. Fast forward, after that knockout, Alex Pereira is then fighting Yuri Prochazka for a rematch. However, this one's on short notice because Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fell out. That was originally supposed to be the main event for UFC 303. However, they made that one on short notice. Alex Pereira also got a win on that one. But another fight that was supposed to be on UFC 303 was Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. A lot of people thought Jamal Hill was coming back too soon, and it ended up being true, considering the fact that he had a lot of fluid buildup in his knee. He tore some ligaments in there, and he had to end up pulling out of that fight. But before he even pulled out, Khalil Roundtree, who was supposed to be fighting him, ended up pulling out. It was a little bit of a weird situation because Khalil Roundtree popped for some steroids. Well, it wasn't really steroids, it was DHEA, which is supposed to help you recover faster, and it wasn't even enough to really be performance enhancing, if you will. Another weird thing about this is that as soon as he took it, Roundtree notified the UFC, told them what he would pop for and why he would pop for it. If you want the full story, he was just on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he told the whole story about it. To sum it up, pretty much he trusted this third party who is always giving him supplements. They know he's a UFC fighter, they know his restrictions. However, right after he found out what was in some of the supplements that he had used in the past and had been completely fine with, as soon as he found out, he notified the UFC. Good man, Khalil Roundtree is, and what a weird situation. But yes, so he ended up pulling out, and who ended up stepping in and was replaced by Carlos Ulberg, who then pulled out as well, and everything just got scrapped, right? Well, Khalil Roundtree, did he just lose his opportunity to become #1 contender? No, apparently he didn't. Khalil Roundtree is one of the more vicious strikers in the UFC light heavyweight division. I mean, this dude stomps on people's knees, kicks people in the ribs while they're on the ground, tears people's ligaments, knees people, throws punches in slow motion and then speeds it up to knock them out, like what he did to Anthony Smith. That shit was brutal. And being one of the more brutal guys, he promoted himself perfectly. He set this fight up perfectly. Now, to be honest, I thought he was maybe going to lose his opportunities because they were talking about him being suspended for an indefinite amount of time until they can figure some things out or whatever, and it was maybe slated that he wasn't going to be able to fight again until next year in 2025. However, the gods are with him and luck was on his side, and probably the Joe Rogan podcast helped him to get this opportunity. But not only did the Joe Rogan podcast help, he helped himself by promoting it the way he did. Who doesn't want to see a Khalil Roundtree versus Alex Pereira fight? Two of the more brutal and vicious strikers in the division. They're probably not going to shoot any takedowns. They both have amazing leg kicks. They both finish fights in very vicious ways. And while Alex Pereira is definitely more proven and a more renowned striker, given his whole glory kickboxing career and given the fact that he's beaten so many UFC champions already in MMA, this is still an extremely fun fight to watch, and definitely more people, I think, would want to see Alex Pereira in this style matchup than they would in a Magomed and Goliath matchup. Me, I thought that was the one that was going to be made, but what did you think was going to be made? Who did y'all think Alex Pereira's next fight was going to be against? There was some rumors in the air that the UFC were looking at a rematch between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya if he got through Du Plessis, but I don't think those really played out. I think Adesanya and Alex Pereira just may never fight again, and I'm okay with that. However, I am glad that the UFC is giving Khalil Rountree this opportunity. This is going to be a fun fight to watch, and either man, make no mistake about it, either man can get knocked out in this one. Of course, Alex Pereira is going to be the favorite, but the closer this one gets, you know, I like to break these ones down. You never know what the film might say. But moving forward to other fights announced on this card, because this is a very stacked card. Kayla Harrison is making her return against Ketlen Vieira. Ketlen Vieira has been a top contender for a while in the women's bantamweight division, so I'm glad that there's two women's bantamweights fights on this card. Two people, all four of them can be champion in the division, and if Kayla Harrison ends up beating Ketlen Vieira, wins the belt, we all know Amanda Nunes is going to come back. Or even if Juliana Pena wins the belt and Kayla Harrison loses, Amanda Nunes still might come back. You never know what Juliana Pena might say with a win, right? And she has a tendency to get under Amanda Nunes' skin. So that's the exciting part about those matchups. But we also had the return of Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista is a savage. He trains over there at the MMA lab with Sean O'Malley. And yeah, he has some sick grappling. He has good striking. He has a lot of cardio and toughness. And now we get to see him against real upper echelon legendary talent and skill in Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, man, I thought he was just back for a one-off for Brazil, but this man is he making another fucking run? This is a current UFC Hall of Famer. He was already inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, former two-time featherweight champion of the world. I mean, dog, if he beats Mario Batista, one more win and this dude is up for a fucking title shot. Low key, I wouldn't be opposed to watching a Jose Aldo versus Davison Figueiredo. We just gotta see how this one plays out though. What do y'all think about that? However, moving forward, we also have Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. Now that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Two people who not only are grapplers, but Movsar doesn't have a boring style. Now, a lot of people, like, you know, they listen to what Ilya says, and he has 8 wins in a row. 4 of them are by split decision. All of them are by decision. And by saying that, you might think he's a boring fighter, but it's actually a very exciting style to watch. He has exciting grappling. He has exciting striking. He's not scared to throw them hoes. Like, this dude, he is a fighter. He does come to scrap. And I think against Aljamain Sterling, this is the perfect time to showcase everything that he's about. This is the perfect time to showcase if he could really take people down over and over again and maul them, because Aljamain has real legit jiu-jitsu, or if he can put together a beautiful boxing combination and put Aljamain out. That's that test for him, and that's the storyline for him in order to see if he could get that title shot. Or on the other hand, Aljamain Sterling, if he can get his second win in a row at this weight class after defeating Calvin Kattar in a dominant victory at UFC 300, if he can come in and beat what is maybe the #1 contender in the featherweight division in Movsar Evloev, who is undefeated in the UFC, undefeated in his career, 8-0 in the UFC, this would be a big mark. And if he can take down and dominate Movsar Evloev, that would be a story. Though, like, either way this fight goes, whoever wins, there's a story there for #1 contendership to go and fight the winner of Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway, given the fact that they don't give the title shot to Sean O'Malley with a win over Merab. But, and we haven't really talked about that storyline of UFC 306, but it's coming soon, so stay tuned. And also, guys, let me know if you like these storyline videos, because I enjoy making them for you guys, and I feel like it helps to keep you guys caught up to date with how everything is playing out in the UFC. However, we're not done with fun fights on this card, man. We have Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I'm more excited about Kevin Holland for this one, but this isn't Roman's natural weight class in middleweight. Kevin Holland is, you know, doing Kevin Holland things. He's not going for a title or anything. He's just fighting for money and looking to be exciting. So that's cool. However, Roman Dolidze is one of those guys who will try and take him down and hold him down like a Marvin Vettori or a Derek Brunson. So we'll get to see some improvements from Kevin Holland if he's made it. If not, you know, Roman Dolidze hasn't shown that he really has the best wrestling, to be honest. Most of the time that he submits people, it's like off of his back. He gets the entry from off of his back or using his guard. He's more of a jiu-jitsu guy than he is really a wrestler. So I think that's a bonus for Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland also has really good jiu-jitsu, and I think Kevin Holland probably will pick him apart on the feet. So that's an exciting fight. But the last fight on this card that was announced by Dana White, dude, Stephen Thompson fighting Joaquin Buckley. This is another up and coming fight for Joaquin Buckley in this division. Dude, that would make it what, 3 or 4 in a row for Joaquin Buckley in the welterweight division. We're talking about contendership now. And if he could beat Wonder Boy, he has to get a top 5 fight after that. He has to. And with a guy like Wonder Boy on your record after beating a guy like fucking Vicente Luque, to be honest, I think he's kind of going backwards in the rankings, but it's an exciting fight because Joaquin Buckley loves to strike. Wonder Boy loves to strike, but I know Joaquin Buckley can and will mix it up. He's a very explosive guy, and I'm always excited to watch Wonder Boy strike because the shit's just beautiful to watch. Right? So guys, let me know what you guys think about UFC 307. Give it a stacked meter, man. What do y'all think that it's ranked out of the upcoming cards in the near future? I mean, to be honest, I think this thing is pretty fucking stacked. And it's not a bunch of short notice fights, crossing my fingers, like UFC 303 was, so we can actually enjoy the build up and enjoy the fact that we know all these people are going to be at their best. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And guys, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to join the Nwadei MMA family. Also, we have a couple of competitions and fights coming up, myself I'm talking about, in September and in October. So stay tuned for some video footage about those. But with that being said, y'all stay safe and y'all stay blessed. I'm out. Peace.